The 1939 Ford COE, or cab-over-engine truck, was one of the most practical and versatile commercial and military platforms developed by Ford on the eve of the Second World War. Unlike conventional trucks with a long hood, the COE layout placed the driver's cab directly above the engine, dramatically shortening the overall length of the vehicle while preserving a full-size cargo or specialty body. This configuration was especially valuable in urban environments, ports, airfields, industrial complexes, and military depots, where tight maneuvering space and efficient use of length were critical. By 1939, Ford had already refined this concept through civilian production, allowing it to be rapidly adapted for both military and heavy industrial roles when global tensions escalated. The truck was built on a heavy-duty ladder-frame chassis designed to accept a wide variety of bodies. One of the greatest strengths of the 1939 Ford COE was precisely this flexibility. It was produced as a bare chassis with cab, allowing customers or military authorities to install bodies according to specific needs. Common configurations included cargo trucks with wooden or steel-sided beds, tanker trucks for fuel or water transport, enclosed box vans for logistics and communications equipment, workshop bodies for field repairs, and specialized airport service vehicles. Tanker versions, like the one often depicted, were particularly important for fueling aircraft, trucks, and generators. Typical tanker capacity ranged from approximately 2,000 to 3,000 liters, which equals about 528 to 793 gallons, depending on the exact body manufacturer and intended use. Powering the 1939 Ford COE was Ford's well-known flathead V8 gasoline engine. This engine had a displacement of about 3.6 liters, or roughly 221 cubic inches, and produced approximately 85 horsepower at around 3,800 revolutions per minute. While this output may seem modest, it was well suited to the truck's mission profile. More important than peak horsepower was torque, which was delivered low in the rev range. The engine generated roughly 196 newton-meters of torque, equivalent to about 145 pound-feet, allowing the truck to move heavy loads from a standstill and maintain steady progress on poor road surfaces. The flathead design, with its simple valve arrangement and robust construction, was easy to maintain and tolerant of lower-quality fuel, an important advantage in wartime conditions. The engine was water-cooled and mounted beneath the cab, accessed via removable interior panels and exterior service hatches. Cooling was a critical concern in cab-over designs, and Ford addressed this with a tall, vertically slatted grille that allowed generous airflow to the radiator. Even during slow convoy driving or stationary fueling operations, the cooling system proved reliable when properly maintained. Fuel consumption varied significantly with load and terrain, but in typical service, the truck consumed approximately 35 to 45 liters per 100 kilometers, which corresponds to about 5.2 to 6.7 miles per gallon. The drivetrain featured a 3-speed manual transmission geared specifically for load carrying and durability. Gear ratios favored pulling power rather than speed, making the truck well suited for towing trailers or hauling full tanks of fuel. Power was delivered to the rear wheels via a robust drive shaft and solid rear axle. The suspension system used heavy-duty leaf springs at both the front and rear, designed to handle substantial payloads and withstand prolonged use on rough, unpaved roads. While this resulted in a stiff ride, especially when unloaded, it ensured reliability and long service life under demanding conditions. Braking was provided by drum brakes on all wheels, mechanically actuated. Although this system required regular adjustment and careful driving, it was simple, rugged, and easily repairable in the field. Steering was entirely manual, with no power assistance, meaning drivers needed physical strength and experience, particularly at low speeds or when maneuvering a fully loaded vehicle. The cab itself was all steel, offering basic protection from the elements but little in the way of comfort. Interior features were minimal, reflecting the truck's utilitarian purpose rather than driver convenience. In service, the 1939 Ford COE was widely used in both civilian and military roles. In military logistics, it played a crucial behind-the-lines role, transporting fuel, water, spare parts, and supplies to forward depots and airfields. Although not designed for frontline combat, these trucks were indispensable to mechanized warfare. Aircraft could not fly, armored units could not advance, and supply columns could not operate without a steady flow of fuel and materials delivered by vehicles like the Ford COE. Its relatively compact length compared to conventional trucks made it easier to operate in crowded staging areas and damaged infrastructure. Production figures are difficult to determine precisely, as Ford COE trucks were built in multiple plants and often recorded under broader commercial production categories. However, thousands were produced before and during the early years of the war. Their mechanical similarity to civilian Ford trucks simplified training and maintenance, allowing mechanics to keep them operational with limited tools and spare parts. This standardization was one of Ford's greatest advantages and contributed significantly to the vehicle's widespread use. After the war, many 1939 Ford COE trucks remained in service, transitioning seamlessly into civilian roles. Tankers were reused by fuel companies and municipalities, cargo trucks became delivery vehicles, and box vans found new life in industry and construction. Some continued working well into the 1950s and even early 1960s, a testament to the durability of their design. Today, surviving examples are rare, especially those retaining original wartime or pre-war configurations. Restored vehicles are prized by collectors and museums, not for their elegance, but for their historical importance and honest, functional engineering. The 1939 Ford COE stands as a symbol of an era when efficiency, simplicity, and adaptability defined vehicle design. It was never meant to be famous, but without trucks like this, the massive logistical machinery of the Second World War would not have functioned. It is a reminder that victory in modern warfare depends not only on weapons, but on the quiet, relentless work of machines that keep everything moving. If you appreciate detailed stories about rare and historically important vehicles like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel, support the video with a like, and stay tuned for the next deep dive into automotive history.